Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So Aldo, for today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a simple A-line button-down skirt. So if you want to see how, keep on watching. First thing I did was make a skirt pattern. If you remember this pattern, I just simply transferred it onto the sheet of paper. That strips of paper is actually just a quarter of my waistline, and I fan it out and added my seam allowances on the hemline and the side seam and also along the waistline. So this skirt is going to have 4 pieces. So 2 pieces for the front panels of the skirt and then 1 back piece and 1 waistband. I am going to cut out the front pieces of the skirt first. So I place it like right along the edge of the fabric, and I'm just going to cut 1 layer, and I added 2 inches seam allowance right there where the edge of the fabric or the selvage. That is going to be for the placket of the skirt since I am making a button down skirt. So the buttons are going to be on the front. That's why I added 2 inches seam allowance right there. And then I will cut out 1 more piece for the front, and I will set that aside. Now I'm going to cut out the back panel of the skirt. I am still using the same pattern. I folded the fabric in half and placed the pattern right on the fold, and I'm just going to cut it out just like I did earlier. And then I will cut out the waistband. So the waistband is 26 inches long and 4 inches wide, and that is including the seam allowances on all 4 sides. And then you should have 3 pieces and it should look like this. So now I am going to press the placket. I am using my new steam iron. I just got this recently thanks to my husband. It was actually an anniversary present. Yeah, some people get diamond rings for their anniversary. Some people get steam iron. So yeah, I actually teased my husband about it and he was like so embarrassed. But I actually really like it. Now that I have it, I will press my garments right after I make them. It is a well thought present and I really appreciate it. So I double fold the placket and I'm going to sew right along the edge. I will repeat the same step on the other skirt panel. I'll be working on the back skirt panel. First, going to sew a basting stitch right along the waistline so I can lightly gather it. Time to close the side seams. So you're just going to lay it like this. Right sides of the fabrics are facing each other. And then I am going to measure the width of the waistline. My goal is to reach 25 inches so it will fit inside the waistband. You will repeat the same step on the other side seam. And now I folded the waistband just like this. Right sides of the fabric should be facing each other. And then I'm just going to close the ends. I will trim off the corners and I will turn the waistband right side out. I went ahead and pressed the waistband and I also pressed in the seam allowance inside the waistband. Next step is going to attach the waistband on the skirt. So I'm simply going to insert the skirt inside the waistband and I'm trying to stay with my 1/2 inch seam allowance so everything will be accurate. I also serged the raw edges just to give the skirt a professional look and it's much more tidy, but that is optional. You can use a zigzag stitch if you don't have a serger. Just be sure that the seams are open so it will not add additional bulk on the waistline or waistband. By the way, you guys, the fabric that I'm using here is actually a vintage fabric that I got from a thrift store like a few years ago. So I won't be able to link this, but I'm gonna try to find some vintage fabrics that you can buy online, and I'm just gonna have the link in the description box below. I just love vintage fabric. I think the quality is way better than the new ones. And this one is actually pretty thick and it's perfect for winter time. I transferred all the pins on the right side of the fabric because I decided I want to sew on the right side. And make sure when you are sewing this that you are catching the fabric at the back. Now I am going to top stitch the waistband all the way around to give it a finished look, and it will also give the waistband stability and it will hold its shape. Right after that, I am going to hem the skirt. So I tried it on and I thought it was a little long. So I decided to trim it down and now I'm going to hem it. I am using my cover stitch for this. I basically just fold the hemline about 1 inch and I'm just going to sew right along the edge, just like you see here. Okay, we are getting so close to finishing this skirt. I will make some buttonholes and I'm going to sew on the buttons. I got these buttons from the fabric store and they were only 25 cents. Now I am going to place the buttons on the skirt. So I'm using my washable marker right here. So I'm just measuring the buttons basically and I just kind of eyeball it where I want the buttons to be. So if you want to be so precise, go ahead, you can measure it out, but I just kind of eyeball it and it worked. Yes, always test out your buttonhole maker before you do it on your actual fabric. Because it really depends on the machine. Some machines, the buttonholes will start from the top to bottom. Mine will start from the bottom going up. So always test that out first so you don't end up ruining your project. And then seam rip open the buttonholes. Sew on the buttons and the skirt is done. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you like this simple skirt tutorial. This was actually a requested video. A lot of you guys wanted me to make a button down skirt. So here it is. I am just so happy that I'm able to make it for you so you can learn from it. If this video is helpful to you, don't forget to show some love by clicking the like button. I would really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. This month of December, I will be posting 2 sewing projects every week. So yeah, I am just super excited that you guys are loving my sewing tutorials. I love all the positive feedbacks and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye!